Okay, everyone, welcome back. So yesterday I was streaming my day 19 and day 20 attempts. As you can see, I have since finished part 1 and part 2 of day 19. We only did part 1 on stream for day 19, and for day 20 I have done part 1, and we didn't finish either of those on stream. So I just wanna shortly sort of show what I was doing here. So for this one, I was trying to put these rules into my parsing, like my parser thing. Like I was trying, so the way I've done it is that I have an MPEG parser that parses all of the rules. And then I have a check rule, which is a recursive thing that loops through all of the rules. Oops. And in here I just did check rule 0. And for this one it said, you should change these two rules, and gave us a little hint that like you should have a look at these things. And I tried to just add these as rules into my parser. The problem was that so when I looked closer into this, I think the issue was that rule 0 in this test set and in my data set is just 811. I think that is sort of a set rule thing. Wait, did the from Discord bot just send a message back to the channel from... I don't think it's supposed to do that. Anyways, so yeah, it just reads 8 and 11. The problem here was that 8 sort of consumed all of rule 42. So this is just a list of 42s. And then rule 11 came along and said, I need to start with a rule 42. But this had already read all of the 42s to conclusion. So there wasn't another one for rule 11 to match. Basically what this means is that we should have a number of 42s, then more 42s, followed by an equal amount of 31s. Which I've sort of simplified, or what I did in my code was, instead of checking just for rule 0, like I did for part 1, I manually implemented the logic of this. So I just loop through check rule 42 until I can't find one anymore, and I keep the position of the last one, and then I reset. So I go back and say, after I've read all of these 42s, go back 142, and then run rule 11. Or rule 31 rather. Oh no, wait, yeah. So it reads all of the 42s until it doesn't match a 42 anymore. So that reads all of these 42s and sort of all of these 42s and counts them. Then it runs rule 31 and counts those. This isn't strictly necessary. Then I check that I have parsed the whole thing. I have more than 0 32s, I have more than 0 31s, and I have more 32s than I have 31s. That means I'm valid. And with this, it worked fine. For day 20, So what I was trying to do, if we look at the part 1 old file here, I was basically just brute forcing it, just trying flip everything. And then after I gave up, I went to the AoC channel and complained that it was so hard. And Nary Moran told me that, well, look at that. Like, he told me to only look for the edges, the four. So for part 20 or day 20, part 1 here, the result is only the 4 corners. You don't actually have to solve the whole thing. You only need to find the 4 corners. So what that sort of told me, that when he told me that, was that these pieces only fit in one place. I had been treating these as more of a random thing. No, I don't have my Twitch chat linked. What do you mean by linked? I have it open, but I don't have it linked to anything. Oh, right. Yeah, that is just when... Oh, right. They... let's see. I can start that one. It is in... TV shower examples. There. Now it should show up on screen. Oh no, wait. I need to do one. Oh, okay, yeah. So that works. Yeah, anyways, so basically what that made me realize was that these are more like puzzle pieces that can only go in one place. And that means that these only have 2 edges that match any other piece. And these only have 3 pieces that match any other piece, etc. So basically what I did, I collect all the sides in all flips. So these are the top and bottom. These are the left and right sides. And I add them, and I flip them, and I add the flip as well. Then I just sort that list. And I find... I find the ones that are after each other and equal, which means that they match. And then I add to a set the ID of... So I have this table of sets from a piece to a set of other pieces. And I say that this one matches this one, and the inverse is also true. And then I just loop through and find every piece that only matches 2 other pieces. And those are my 4 corners. I've then expanded that for part 2 with all of this crazy logic. So basically this does the same thing. It finds the top left piece. It finds the pieces next to it. So the pieces next to the top left piece that matches 3 sides. And it adds them here and here. And then it goes onwards and finds the next neighbor that hasn't been used before that is an edge. So basically what you're doing when you're puzzling, like you start with the edge, build out the whole edge, and then you sort of build inwards from there. And after I sort of had this line and this line, then this piece is simply the piece that this piece right here and this piece right here both neighbor to, right? So this neighbors to these 3 pieces. This piece neighbors to these 3 pieces. This is the only piece that neighbors to both of them. And this have given me So this is for that test data set. This has given me the locations of the pieces, but I don't have the rotations or the flips, which means I can't do part 2, which is searching for something. So basically, it's basically just busy work for part 2, because it's just looking, or it's just figuring out the flips. I sort of lose that information up here. I discard it because I didn't need it for the first part. I could possibly keep that around, or I could, when I insert them here, just try every flip for every piece, which won't be like, it will only be 144 pieces that I need to do some flipping on. So it should be pretty fast. Yeah, that was what I was gonna do after I have the final image, is rotating and flipping the sea monster. The problem is I don't have the rotation and the flip of the pieces. I only know that piece 1427 goes in the middle, but I don't know which rotation and flip it goes in. So I need to figure that out for all of these before I can do that. And honestly, that's just busy work that I haven't bothered doing. But anyways, on with today's task. Go into day 21. Okay, day 21. So again, I haven't looked at this yet. You reached the train's last stop and the closest you can get to your vacation island without getting wet. There aren't even any boats here, but nothing can stop you now. You build a raft. You just need a few days worth of food for your journey. Right. Why do I want to go to this island so bad? You don't speak the local language, so you can't read any ingredients lists. However, sometimes allergens are listed in a language you do understand. You should be able to use this information to determine which ingredient contains which allergen and work out which foods are safe to take with you on your trip. Well, that's easy for me. I don't have any allergies. Just take whatever. You start by compiling a list of foods, which is my puzzle input. 1 food per line. Each line includes that food's ingredients list, followed by some or all of the ingredients the food contains. Followed by some or all. That is a suspicious marking of items. Each allergen is found in exactly 1 ingredient. Each ingredient contains 0 or 1 allergen. Allergens aren't always marked. When they're listed, as in contains nuts, shellfish, after an ingredients list, the ingredient that contains each listed allergen will be somewhere in the corresponding ingredients list. However, if an allergen isn't listed, the ingredient that contains that allergen could still be present. Maybe they forgot to label it, or maybe it was labeled in a language you don't know. For example, consider the following list of foods. Random gibberish, contains dairy and fish, contains dairy. This is common between both of them. So that is probably the dairy part. But it could also be fish. But this one is common between these two. And it's not in this one. Yeah, so this is dairy, this is fish. And I guess this is soy, because this is fish. So this hasn't marked soy, but this is soy. The first food in the list has 4 ingredients, blah, blah, blah. The first step is to determine which ingredients can't possibly contain any of the allergens in any food in your list. In the above example, none of the ingredients KFCDS, NHMS, SBZZF, or TRH can contain an allergen. Of course they can. Because they can't just not be listed. What? I guess these are the only allergens that sort of can be there. Counting the number of times any of these ingredients appear in any ingredients list produces 5. They all appear once, except ZBZZF, which appears twice. Determine which ingredients cannot possibly contain any of the allergens in your list. How many times do any of these ingredients appear? Wait, what do they mean that... I mean, they could just not be listed. Ever. But I guess that's not an option. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is a long thing. Or, it's not long, it's wide, I guess. There's a lot of ingredients. Right. So how do we want to do this? If we... It trips me up a bit that they aren't always marked. Okay, so how does it know that this one... How does it know that these ones can never be... can never contain an allergen? Like, how does it know that this one, for example... I guess because this contains soy. And we have already figured out that this must be an allergen. Because it exists in both of these, which both have fish. And this has to be dairy. So I guess if we create a sequence, or if we create a set for dairy that contains all of these, and a set for dairy that contains all of these, a set for fish that has all of these, and a set for fish that contains all of these, and then the union of all of the fish sets would then only have this one in it. Oh, it would actually have both of them. The one for dairy would only have this one in it. And then we do the same kind of thing we did in... oh, what day was that? There was another day where we basically had to figure out like the unique ones. So we do the same kind of thing for this and say that, this one has to be dairy because it's the only thing in the dairy set. So we can remove that from all of the other sets. I think that should work. Okay. So let's copy this and let's start this off with our test data. Let's do that. And then we have our, do we want to, I'm just considering if I want to do this as an NPEG parser. I mean, it's a bit much, but sure. We'll write a simple npeg parser for this. Import npeg. And let the parser be a peg of list. I mean, it will just be cumbersome to not use it. I just said, yeah, that's what I usually do, but people get mad at me, or people tend to use npeg. And I'm getting I'm getting pretty good at npeg, so it doesn't take me that long to write a parser. Screw it. We'll do a split. I'm doing it. So split into lines, and then split on this is repetitive because split will give you a sec, for example. Yeah. Oh no. No. I mean, this would be if that's your issue, then you're doing it wrong. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it as an mpeg. Yeah, you can. I'm gonna do it as an mpeg, just to show you how it's not that bad as mpeg, or when done as an mpeg. Parser is a peg, which is a list. List is just call it line, followed by a new line character. Actually, a new line character or nothing more. So if it's the end of the string and there's no new line there. A line consists of ingredients, followed by allergens, followed by a space, and then followed by allergens, and just ingredient. Oh yeah, ingredients. Then we have ingredients, which is it's just alpha, isn't it? Alpha, followed by 0 or more space characters. I can use lower, sure. Followed by lower. Now we're just writing sort of the parsing bit. And then allergens, I'll do the matches afterwards. Allergens is a left parentheses followed by, or actually just left parentheses contains and a space, followed by lower, followed by 0 or more, comma space, and then more lower, and that should be it. So that should match our input. No, fell at 47. What on earth is character 47 here? Wait, what? How did it get to character 47? Followed by, oh. Yeah, no, followed by ingredients, which is this, and a space, followed by lower. So that shouldn't match this bit. then a space, and then allergens. Oh, we obviously also need this. Not that that should matter. A list should also contain one or more lines. There we go. That matches the whole thing. Right. So now we need our captures. So we are going to add this into a structure. You know what? We can just do all of our work within the captures. So I said I wanted a table of captures going, or a table of sets going from ingredient or from allergen to possible ingredients. So we are going to need a table called allergens, which is a table just from a string to a set. And this is going to be a hash set, so we will need to import that module as well. There. And then for each line, we are going to do parsed ingredients, which is a sequence of strings, and parsed allergens, which is also going to be a sequence of strings. So in this, we are going to say for, let's first create the set. Ingredients set is, it's actually just a, do hash sets need to be initialized? They don't, okay. They used to. The same for tables and sequences. They all had to be and strings for that matter. They all had to be initialized. So for ingredient in parsed ingredients, we are going, or actually we can do, yeah, we can do this. We can do to hash set parsed ingredients, and then we say for allergen in parsed allergens, allergen is equal to the ingredients set. Now in ingredients, we want to capture this ingredient and this ingredient, and we want to set parsed ingredients should be equal to capture one up to the last, or the second but last one, map it .s, so grab the string values out of there, and basically do the same thing for this, but capture this one and this one and put those into parsed allergens. And then we can echo out our allergens table. We need to tell it that we want to capture, and we need the secutils module for map it. There we go. Yeah. So now we have dairy, fish, Oh, right. We shouldn't set them to this. This should be get or I guess mgets or what is that one called? It's like mget or puts. Yeah. Mget or puts allergen just the empty set to hash set of string. Is there an easy way to create an empty string hash set? That was the tables module. To set, there's an init ordered set. Init. I can but that takes a var. This one. Init hash set. Init hash set of strings. There. Should include this. Oh no, it shouldn't include it. It should be the union. No, wait. We want the intersection, right? Which means that this will have to be all of the allergens. No, because we can do we can do this. .s just grabs the string out of a capture. So you can do $1, this is the first capture, or you can do capture1.s to get the string, or si to get the index of that capture. It's all in the it's all in here. Reverse index. What do you mean? I'm not really reverse indexing it. Oh yeah, of course. It's just a sequence. Yeah. It's a sequence of capture. And this is the capture object. I'm not quite sure why they're not just strings and have this index. Oh yeah, no. I figured that out when I was doing something inside of one of these where I had to do a template, or I wanted to do a template to avoid code duplication. There's no like union, no intersection equals thing, right? No. There's no like times equals for this. That's a shame. Mget or put. You know what? I'm just gonna write this. in a more traditional style. So if it isn't in the table, just set it to this list of ingredients. If it is, then set it to the intersection. I misspelled allergen. There we go. Yeah, so dairy can only be this one. Fish can be this one or this one. But we know that since dairy can only be this one, we can eliminate that one, and this one is then only that one. And since fish is only that one, then we know that soy can have this one removed, and soy is only that one. We also want to have all ingredients as a hash set of string, and yeah, all ingredients is equal to all ingredients plus, I would guess, is the union. I'm gonna check that, but yeah, plus is union. Yeah, like plus equals times equals would be nice. Yeah, so these are now all of the ingredients. So we could go through for allergen and allergens. All ingredients as all ingredients minus allergen, echo all ingredients, and echo all ingredients dot cardinality. Just the items. It's a table. No, it's called values. There we go. Items is the default one. I guess I should have guessed it didn't have a default one. Yeah, so as you can see, this one is the same list as we had. Yeah, this is this list, which, I mean, they can contain them because we cannot list them, but I guess this is what they're asking for. So we now have a way of getting that. So basically our part 1 is done. This could have been done a lot easier if we were only solving part 1, but I'm guessing part 2 is going to be something else. So instead of that, let my data be our input file, and I just commented out all of our superfluous. Oh, this one actually wasn't superfluous. And just echo it out, so you can see that it parses the whole thing. Yeah, if you could PR that would be great. Hi, angered gecko, whoever you are. What do you mean that's not the correct solution for the example? NHMS TRH KFCDS and SBZZF. Oh, the solution is 5. Oh, we're counting the number of times they appear in the ingredients list. Right. So we are going to create an ingredients count, which is a count table of string. And then for let's just do it down here. For ingredient in parsed ingredients. Actually, let's have it up here. Ingredients count dot inc. Is that what it's called? I think so. The ingredient echo out ingredients count. Oops. So that gives me the, oh, I changed the I changed the data set. I was a bit confused there for a second. Yeah, so back to our original data set. We have, this is twice and these ones are once. So for ingredients in all ingredients, it's not all ingredients any longer. Let me actually just create a if for nothing else, just to have better naming of this variable. I have a feeling that it might get useful. I use nym on a normal basis. I've been using nym for almost 5 years. And it is the language that I use by far the most. And I'm lucky enough that I am sometimes able to sneak it in at work. Yeah, that's literally all that needs to be. Oh, you were saying I could just add it in here. I thought it was, you meant that it was, I thought you meant that it was supposed to be a, the PR. But PR it. You have already written the code. I can add it. I'm actually gonna copy it just straight from Twitch, which is probably gonna be a mess. Yep. So that is a documentation comment, and documentation comments are RST, so they need double ticks to parse code. Not that it matters for this at all. Intersection for union. Wait, what? I mean, I'm using both. Oh, wrong thing. There. And I was using the other one up here. There. Oh. Why can't you Attach a custom. Oh, because it's a template. You can't have an inline pragma on a template. Those are for procedures only. And basically it tells the C compiler to try and inline them. But since the C compiler never sees a template, it doesn't make sense to add them there. Yeah. So count plus equals ingredients count for the ingredient. That should be ingredient singular and echo out the count. This should now give us 5. Yep. Good. Now we can change our data set over to the actual data set. And we should be good to go for part 1. Hurrah! But yeah, as I was saying, Angered Gecko, I've been using them for a long while. I actually did do an advent of code back in 2016, I think. No, 2018. Where I was sort of trying to use NIM to get better at NIM. But I don't think I made it past day 11 or something. But if you're new to NIM, feel free to ask any. Yeah. I mean, if you're at day 21 and not used to. Oh, not hyperlink. Yeah, well, I mean. Wait, if you've never heard of it, how did you end up watching the stream? Wait, not Hyperblade. Are you actually not Hyperblade from the AoC channel? Yeah, I'm just famous with my whooping 4 users. Oh, you're Shadow, right. Right. Yeah, I mean, you've been picking up NIM really fast. I mean, you can sometimes tell that you didn't know about some part of NIM, but it's really the speed at which you have picked up NIM is quite impressive. I mean, it's not a especially hard language to learn. Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of why I like NIM so much. Python really like I used Python and I used C for the most part, which is what I was taught in university. And this like finding NIM was sort of finding the perfect combination of compiles super fast and can run on anything from like microcontrollers to data centers, and Python, which is a lot easier to write than C, especially stuff like string handling and, I mean, count table, hash set, just a hash table, just resizable sequence of strings. Those are just things that are such a pain to do in C. Yeah, you should give it a spin. It's pretty good. I mean, I've picked it up 5 years ago, just from a friend sending me like, oh, have you heard of this weird new language? And I don't think I've put it down ever since. Now I just want to write all of my tools in them, and all of my programs and work, and it's just so much better. I haven't really tried Rust. like I've looked at it, I've sort of played with it a little bit, but I haven't gotten like really into it. So I can't really make a comparison there. Anyways, part 2. Now that you've isolated the inert ingredients, you should have enough information to figure out which ingredient contains which allergen. That's what I thought we were doing. In the above example, this contains dairy, this contains fish, and this contains soy. Oh, that was Rust code. I was confused there for a second. Snippet of indexing a string where A is an int. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Or is that actually how you index a string in... Yeah, I mean, in nim that would be... In nim that would be... at first equal password 0 or yeah. That's just ugly. Anyways, back to this. I mean, I'm not here to bash on Rust or anything. I'm sure it's a perfectly fine language for something. Again, I haven't really tried it, so I don't really know the strengths and weaknesses of it. I just know that in M I can write code that is easy to read, compiles super fast, and can do basically anything I've ever wanted to do in a programming language. Yeah. Arrange the ingredients alphabetically by their allergen and separate them by commas to produce your canonical dangerous ingredients list. There should not be any spaces in your canonical dangerous ingredients list. In the above example, this would be this thing. Time to stock your raft with supplies. What is your canonical dangerous ingredients list? Oh. So this isn't actually a a number answer. Interesting. First time in this year's AoC where the answer is not a number. Yeah. Anyways, we need to find these. Luckily, that was kind of what I was thinking that we were doing. We could have probably saved us a lot of stuff. So we have the allergens. Wrong, part 2. Oh yeah, I didn't mean to run that on the whole thing. But it was actually not a very long list. Yeah, so basically we need to find one with cardinality 1. We need to find one with cardinality 1. Then we need to loop through. Yeah. Okay. So. Unidiomatic. What? It's not unidiomatic. It's literally how you add stuff into any other thing. Anyways. No, because ink Essence. Ink is increase. What? Wait, do we have... I can't do this, right? No. I mean, that would be fine. Oh, wait, maybe I could. I mean, I would be fine with something like this. Yeah, but that doesn't work either. Yeah, nim strings are technically also, I mean, UTF-8 is 8-byte. So we have a module for a Unicode module. But still, this is the code you would do in nim. A.rune at 1. Instead of that horrible mess that they did. Not horrible mess, sorry. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Yeah, that's why you need the chars thing. I mean, yeah. Anyways, oops. No. All allergens should be all. So this is my list of dangerous ingredients. Yeah. Init hash set of strings. While dangerous.cardinality does not equal allergens dot length, I guess. So as long as we haven't figured out all the dangerous ingredients in our allergens, we should do this. And we should loop through our for ingredients. Wait, no, this is from allergen to ingredients in our allergens table. So this is key and value of our table, and our table is from allergen to ingredient. We could do like we did for day was it day 18 and day 19, I think it was, where we did we made index a type of int so that we could see that rules is a sequence of indexes, while the data type is still an int and there's just a one-to-one opaque relationship. We could have done something similar here, because from a string to a hash set of strings is kind of cryptic. So we could have done something like allergen is a string and ingredient is a string, and define this table as going from allergen to ingredient. But that would also mean that we need to do stuff like this, like convert this to an allergen. And this has to be, yeah, we would need to add some types around to get that working. But it would make the code more readable. I would have done it if this was something I was planning to maintain, just to make it nice and readable. Yeah, you may. No particular reason. No. I tend to not use asserts that much. One reason for it, which might seem strange to you, is asserts go away in. They used to go away in release mode. They might now only go away in danger mode. So if you're compiling in release or danger mode to get the speed increase that they bring, then asserts disappear. They're meant for testing. But yeah, then you can do assert, which is the same thing as assert, and they aren't removed. But I tend to use branches. If you want to do microcontroller stuff, then you kind of need to use branches, because then you can't have exceptions. So I'm just used to doing it that way. And I don't really like try catch stuff. I don't know. It's a bit messy. It's nicer in Nim, because you could do. I have a whole article on this on my site, but basically you can do. Where is that thing? Yeah, this one. You can do something like. Where did that go? Yeah, you can do something like this. So let A be, and then a try block that this returns a float, and there. This returns a float, except in the case of a value error, then it just returns another float. So A will always be a float in this case. Which is a nice way of doing defaults. So let A, this is now immutable. What you would have to do in other languages is say var A is 0, and then try this, accept value error, maybe then set A to 0. But then A would be mutable. Yeah. It's just a cool little trick in them. Anyways, so for all of the allergens, if our ingredients list has a cardinality of 1, and that is the ingredients list intersected by the already known dangerous ingredients, has a cardinality of 1, then we can add actually, we can just include. Then we can include. Wait, so the intersection of that, we actually need that. The remaining is ingredients times dangerous, or not times, but union, not remaining. It's the ingredients that are not already known. So the unknown, and if the unknown list of ingredients have a cardinality of 1, then we can add this list or this set to the dangerous set. So that adds just one thing to it. Yeah. Well, what? There seem to be multiple errors on top of each other there. Type mismatch. Got, oh, a procedure, right. I didn't call init hash set, I assigned init hash set to the dangerous variable, which it didn't like. Oops, T went in the wrong place. Just misspelled T, or the word ingredients. Didn't misspell T. That seems to take a lot of time. So let's just echo out the allergen here. So at first it should echo out soy, but it didn't, so something is wrong. For allergen, comma ingredients in allergens, echo out the allergen for me. Oh wait, I'm doing the intersection. I should do the whatever that thing is called. The there we go. Yeah, so it finds soy because it only has one to begin with. Then it finds nuts because nuts, when we know that this is soy, we know that nuts is this one. Then we find wheat because we know that this is nuts and this is soy, so this has to be wheat. Then we find eggs because we know that this one is wheat, so this one has to be eggs, so on and so forth. And if we echo out the unknown, then we will see that, yeah, it finds this one, no, this one from soy. Then it found nuts, has to be this one. And that is the list of all our dangerous ingredients. So now our set of dangerous ingredients is what we need, but we need to convert that into a sequence of this kind. So we need to turn that into a sequence. And then we need to join that with a comma and no space. And join is from the string utils module, because now we're doing stuff with strings. Oh. No. It's from the... It's from either one of them. But I'm guessing that this has to be a string and not a character literal. Yeah. Where is this from? It's from string utils, yeah. Just showing off my LSP implementation there. Oh, and we need to sort this first. And sort is in the algorithm module. Confusingly not algorithms, but algorithm. Oh. Why would it be sorted? Do hash sets automatically sort stuff? No. Because, oh yeah, sort is in place, right? Ingredients is equal to this, no, to this thing, and then dangerous ingredients dot sort, and then oh, I can do sorted. That's easier. There we go. There we have it. So that seems to be sorted, and it seems to contain all of the ingredients that we found. I'm just gonna not output this anymore, just to make it a bit cleaner. Remove this stuff. Yeah, chaining functions. And the cool thing, like, again, a thing I really like about Nim is that, like, sorted isn't defined for a sequence. It's just in a module. It just takes a sequence. So you could just as easily do like this if that suits you better. Like the unified call syntax. It's really nice. Well, don't call it a solution yet. We haven't submitted our answer. Yeah, it's not the right answer, so it's not a solution. Why though? Let's start by running this on the no, I'm not. I'm sorting the sequence of the dangerous ingredients. Oh, by their allergen. Right, right. Ah, okay. So we... Ah, man, that is annoying. Okay. So we need to keep another table of a tuple of allergen ingredient, and they should both be strings. Oh, this should be a sequence of these. And down here, allergen to ingredient. These are so long names. I shouldn't have made them that long. And my allergen is the allergen, and the ingredient is the unknown. Can I do that? I can't for normal sets. No. Can I get like the only thing out of a set in an easy way? Not quite. Yeah, is that really the only way or the best way of doing it? I looked at the implementation. Yeah, but I want the only thing out of it. I'm not sure if this applies to these sets as well, but yeah. Ooh. Looping over sets. It's not great. There is an ordered set, yeah. There's an ordered set, but it wouldn't help us here. Because our set is different. Or our set need to only contain these because we're using the set for other stuff. 2 sec and grab the 0th element. And then we need to take our allergen to ingredient and sort that and map that to the ingredients and then join that up. But for that to work, we need to implement a procedure. What's it called? Oh. Oops. I'm just reading the AoC. So apparently Sev did day 20 part 1 in 42 lines of code. But yeah, he didn't struggle. He struggles with the same thing that I did, that his part 1 solution just loses all of the information about where, like how they rotate. Yeah, so sorted also takes a procedure. 40 lines for 40 lines for, yeah. I mean, now I feel dumb for having such a long no, it's pull up master. Having such a long day 1. My day 1 is 57 lines. I guess I have this stuff. It's not technically required. A little bit of white space. Yeah, so I need my comparator, which takes, actually let's create a type here for a mapping, which is a tuple from allergen ingredient string, and then a b both of type mapping, and this returns an integer. Why does it try to force that onto a new line? And then this should be a sequence of our mappings, and we should sort these by their allergen. Where to B's allergen, that should give us what we need, and our sorted, we should sort with the myCompare procedure. There we go. So now it doesn't look sorted anymore, but they should be sorted by allergen and not by ingredient name. There we go. I did the whole thing pretty compact. For both parts. Wait, part which day? Which day is this? 21. Ah, yeah, so the one I just did. Filtering by unique. Ah, you do your while true and break out of the block thing again. I mean that's what I've been saying. Like I like to actually give it like a proper end condition. Name codes and intersected. Yeah, so you create an. Oh, yeah, shared is technically a keyword. So it's colored differently. Wait, what are you doing here? Ah, yeah, right. You were doing just splits. Mapping out all possible fields. Ordered table. How would that help in this case, though? I mean, yeah, they can be sorted, but include. Wait, are you include prelude? Prelude? What prelude? Have you created a like a common thing for all your stuff? Or is there actually a module called prelude? 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 It's a module. Oh. Right. So it just puts a bunch of commonly used modules. Tables, sets, hashes, string utils. Why not sec utils? I think I use sec utils more than I use parse utils and parseopt. Day one. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's have a look at Rust. Oh. So apparently the what is the issue? No. Yeah. Unknown issuer. I mean, it might just be that their certificate is out of date. It's oh. I mean, I'm gonna click OK. I was just interested. Does not supply ownership. Oh, never mind. I'm I guess I'm still on my work VPN, which is routed through a DNS blocking thing. But I can't really disconnect from the VPN right now because then the stream would break. I think IX is fine. Yeah, just host it on IX. It's basically what the playground uses. Yeah. But you see, what we can do now is we can do this, and we can say, actually give me ix.io. And then we have this, and then we can say, highlight that with Rust. And it looks like this. That's why I like IX. it's just text, and you choose what you want to do with it with the URL. Right. Okay. So for a comparison here, let me bring up. Actually, first let me just add this real quick. There. Oh, authentication failed. Oh, I hit enter too quickly. Yeah, I was gonna bring up my day one. Was it part 1 or part 2 that you sent me in Rust, or both? Day 1, okay. Right. So this is my day 1. 11 lines. This apparently is right. So this is part 1, and this is common stuff, I guess. So his common stuff is 6 lines longer than my solution. So what does this do? A function that loads numbers into a vector of 64-bit integers, a mutable result. Yeah, so this is what you get for free in NIM. Let's have more fun with this. CD into my projects folder into, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Into here, day 1. There's a link you sent. What link? Oh, to your solution. Right. So let's skip the inputs for now. So function load nums. I guess we could make that a function here as well. Load nums, we could use the same name. Names are in NIM are sort of names in NIM. So if I do this, I can still call it like this, because NIM is underscore and case insensitive. So this line number 6 here, this creates the result. NIM has an implicit result variable. As you can see, when I write result, it turns blue, which is set to this type. And in NIM, the 0 value, like the values are always zeroed out, and a zeroed out sequence of int is the same as an empty sequence of ints. So this is sort of already initialized for us, so we don't need to do that, and we have the result variable for free. So we can start with let file. So he opens a file and unwraps, which I know is some sort of memory thing. Then he creates a buffer to read the file, and then he reads the file. He goes through line by line in the file and pushes the number, right? Yeah. Okay. It's like yeah. So this doesn't throw an exception. It does a thing. 2 sec. Yeah. But we wanna do this more their way. Actually, so we actually don't need to create this file at all. because nym has a lines operator that is defined for file names that automatically opens the file. So I can actually just do this. Or I mean, I could do this as well. Again, the unified call syntax. And then he parses that to an int64. Apparently reading from a buffer. Yeah, that can throw an exception, I guess. Parse and then unwrap that. Yeah, I kind of noticed. Options are nice for certain things, but they can be a pain to work with. I wrote a package for nym to be able to work with options a bit easier. You can have a look at the tests here. This one, I guess, which allows you to do like introduces this existential operator, bool conversions. That's fine. Yeah. With dollar, sure. Yeah, and this with sum that introduces a block. Return a result as well. Oh, an option, I guess. Yeah, so it's like infectious. That's the same with this thing, really. Like, since this is a sum, now this is a sum, right? It's a bit more obvious up here. Since this is an option, then this is an option, and this mock echo takes an option. Oh, it takes anything that can be converted to a string. Options can be converted to a string. Yeah. So it has blocks of stuff. Can do some neat things. Yeah, also have like ways to wrap stuff, procedures and stuff if you don't want like wrap stuff that throws an exception, stuff like that. Anyways, back to this. So basically, so I could do this parse int line, and for that I need string utils. But people are gonna be saying, but parse, what if it's not a number? This is gonna throw an exception. This is safe. Wait, what happens if it isn't? What happens if this is a none? Does this crash? Does anyone know? It panics. Ah, okay, so it crashes. Okay, so basically the same as my code does now. We could also do what I said earlier, and do something like this. Just default the value to 0, basically. Would add a bunch of zeros, but I don't want to include prelude because I want to show how this can be rewritten in nym easier. But yeah, so he parses it into a variable, which I guess makes sense when you have this long statement. But I wouldn't put this in a variable. It's pretty easy to see what it does. Yeah, return result, also not necessary. The result variable is returned by default if nothing else is specified. Yeah. So I guess we now are on to solve part 1. You need to pass a reference, so you need to make a variable. Otherwise, you need to borrow from the expression. Oh. So, wait, it doesn't do that automatically? I mean, that's just tedious at that point. I mean, I'm all for like memory safety and stuff, but if it's so tedious to write, okay. Like I'm all for doing safe stuff, but if it's tedious to do, then really. I guess this technically is a reference to do it or something. Nim does that automatically if it's too long. 10 minus 5 is in a hash set. You need to do that. Is that the borrow? Oh, to borrow from the expression. Right. Oh, so this just says borrow this vector, I guess. Whatever that means. Target is an int. It returns an int. Ints in them are default to the size of a pointer. This is a 64-bit machine, so that is a 64-bit int. You can borrow it, but give it back afterwards. Otherwise, that vector would now be owned by my function, and I couldn't use it again. Oh, right. So while you borrow it, no one else can use it. But since this is a linear, not multi-threaded program, that doesn't actually change anything. Yeah. But that is only necessary for multi-threading, right? Because f of x would return before f2 completes, no matter what. Anyways, yeah, so, oops, and Rust is always required. Yeah, but I was just saying, like, why is it always required? So scene, yes, an int set of stuff that is seen. Oh, he's doing the set thing. Yeah, okay. I mean, we let's do what he's doing here. Let mutable scene. So that is a var in them. Vars are mutable, lets are immutable. This is a set of these kinds of set can't be the full range of ints because they are bit sets, and that would be humongous. It'd be like 4 gigabytes, megabytes. They would be big. That would be an unnecessarily big type. We could import the int set module, which is better, or which handles full int. I don't think we do. Oh, target minus number. Right. Yeah, okay. I mean, int16 is still big enough. It's like 16,000. But I guess we could do this as well. This defines a set that can only hold the values from this to this. What's this complaining about? It can have side effects. Yeah, I realized after a while that it was you who wrote it. Because you said the reason I use vector I64. Do you know if this is like good Rust code? Like if it's like the proper Rust way of doing it? Why can this have side effects? I guess because it can throw an exception? Are exceptions side effects? Oh, that was helpful. I guess, oops. Except. Is it gonna still have side effects? Okay. So it's not. Not sure why that can have side effects, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, it's because it's reading. Yeah, so it's not a mathematical function. Because a mathematical function, if you call it twice, it should always give the same result back. And we can't guarantee that this file doesn't change between runs. You borrowed values instead of passing by clone. Yeah, I was just wondering if like it's using a set here or particularly Rust way of doing it as I don't know. Anyways, what is this complaining about? Probably. Let's make these sequences for now. For number in all of the numbers that I get passed in here. If scene dot contains, that is the same. Target minus number. Then we can return number times 2020 minus number. And for each of these, scene dot include number, I guess. Yep. So this is basically this thing. Return 0. So if a function comes to the end and you haven't returned anything, it will return, like result is still defined as 0, so it will return result. So return 0 is implicit. So you can skip this part. Other than that, this is pretty much the exact same thing. I mean, we save lines because we don't have to do this. And I mean, they didn't put a blank line in here, but we could do that. Oops, this. Solve part 2. This is just the same, isn't it? It's pretty much the same. In operator. Yeah, I guess that's true. If target minus num in scene, I mean, it does the same thing. Sequence of integers, target is an int, returns an int. Oops, that was for number numbers. Oops. Default parameters. Oh, you mean like we could do? Yeah. Yeah, we could do this. And what was the target for this one? Still 2020. And of course, in this case, the int here is implied because this is an int. So it infers that. Thought positive. Well. I mean, we could. So it can only take positive numbers. Anyways. With that, if result is greater than 0, then return number time res. And then main is in M is just everything that's not in the scope of a procedure. So let our numbers be load numbers, and then echo out solve part 1. Just numbers solve part 1 and numbers solve part 2. Oh. Yeah, so that was 23 lines compared to 49. So a bit less than half. And, oh, sorry, I forgot to make this terminal size, text size bigger. So yeah, that is our total solution ends there. We only use one import, which is string utils, to parse integers. Yeah, I'm not gonna rewrite another one, but let's have a look at this. Let me turn on. Oops. ix.io. There, with the Rust syntax highlighting. What was this? Day 2? I mean, day 2 wasn't that short, was it? Ah, okay. Yeah, so my solution is this long. I guess it could be even shorter. But yeah, mine is like they have opened the file and set up some stuff by the time I'm done. I mean, it's not a competition in being short, but in general, like, less code is easier to read. Ah, okay, it's part, yeah. I mean, part 2 is same size. Yeah, no, as I said, it's really not about code length. But I find that short code where every line actually does something is better than long code where like half of your program doesn't really do anything, like boilerplate or like for example this, like open the input file. Yes, of course I'm gonna open the input file. I'm reading from the input file. This one, create a buffer reader. I don't care how you read the file. I just want the lines from the file. This line is fine. Read in lines from the lines. I mean, this is okay. Just set up some iterator variables. This is completely unnecessary. I mean, I know it does something, but this is just cruft, in my opinion. That's fine. This does something. This is also fine. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, but it does something. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I guess I'm just a bit annoyed at the language that I kind of have to use for work at the moment. I went through one of the projects with one of the guys in my in the team and asked him like, okay, so where is I'm using C#. I kind of did want to say, but yeah, I asked him like, okay, so where is the logic in this program? Where does it do stuff? He said, well, it starts with program.cs. And we open program.cs and like, yeah, okay, so what does something here? I said, no, this is all just like registering stuff and starting things. I was like, okay. So where do we go from there? What does something? Well, this calls startup.cs. Okay, open startup.cs. Okay, so where's the logic? What does this one do? I was like, well, it doesn't actually do anything. It just delegates like what we want to start and how it starts stuff. And I think we went through like the entire project, and there's one file in this massive project where all of the logic of the program actually is. And I'm like, oh, okay, so of all these 20 files, this is the file that does something. And he looks at me with a weird look and goes like, well, yeah, I guess you could put it that way. Foldle. It's a fold left. It basically goes through pairwise each thing in its sequence, and combines two things into one thing. And for you guys, it would be this way. So takes two things and folds them into one thing with a statement. Basically, it's like a reduce, if you know map reduce. But we have fold left and we have fold right. They're slightly different things. But yeah, that's what fold L does. So basically, what I'm doing here. Yeah. Yeah, fold is used quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, what we're doing here is we're converting stuff to integers, and then we sum them together. I don't remember what the task for this one was. Seems like we're guessing a password of something. Oh, right. This is a Boolean, and I'm converting it to an integer, so I have zeros and ones. And then I add together, so I get all the ones. So I get all the passwords that have a character, a count of characters in this range. And I count them by folding together all of the ones into a sum. It's one way of doing it. That is actually kind of a functional way of doing it. I have wanted to look into F#, because I like functional programming, and I've actually held talks on functional programming as well. One of the first talks I held in front of a big-ish audience. This one. Functional programming. But yeah, where I basically explained to a bunch of students what functional programming is and why it's cool. What cool stuff it allows you to do. What? Array-based programming. What is that? Anyways, yeah, that was day 21 of Advent of Code with a lot of other stuff. Short look at Rust and more. So it seems like the sea monster is still chilling out up here. Wait, is this an island with oh, is this like a lagoon thing? Because we went swimming, right? Yeah, we started swimming out here. I guess this ASCII art is confusing. I mean, looks like a lake of some kind. What was the? Yeah, we're taking a raft, which I guess is this path here. So we went down to this part and now we're rafting over to our destination. Yeah. Yeah, it still annoys me that I haven't completed day 20, but I'm not going to do it now. What on earth? Tryapple.com or try APL, I guess. Array, no. What is the APL short for? Oh, yeah, that didn't seem to work. What is the APL short for? APL. Named after the book A Programming Language. Whoops. Its central data type is the multidimensional array. It uses a large range of special graphic symbols to represent most functions and operators, leading to very concise code. And also very incompatible code and hard to write code. Yeah, I guess if you do a bunch of weird characters, Yeah. Anyways, that's it for today. Hopefully I'll be able to stream tomorrow. No guarantees about the day before Christmas and Christmas. Here we celebrate Christmas on the 24th, not the 25th. So I'm probably gonna be pretty busy on the 24th. And the 23rd probably. So yeah, but hopefully we'll be able to do it tomorrow at least. And I should try to get 20 done as well, but it's getting late and I'm not doing it now. But yeah, that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I hope to see, what was his name? The detours are fine. That's half the fun. What was his name? The guy who just dropped in out of nowhere. Angered Gecko. Yeah. I hope to see you around if you're still in the channel. Or if you're still watching the stream. I hope you see you around in the NIM community. Yeah. Join us on IRC or Discord or Gitter. We have channels everywhere. They're all linked together, so you can talk to everyone. Yeah, that's it for today. Have a nice Advent and a nice Christmas.